Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a shadow that's underneath, like if you have a layer of text that you want to show that it's kind of maybe hovering over the background, maybe like it looks like it's on the floor kind of thing. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So go ahead and open up Photoshop, make a new document. Any size is good, bigger, always bigger the better so you can see. And go ahead and throw some text on there. And you're going to want to make it bigger so you can actually see it. And you're going to want to select a font that's somewhat square. So you would need something, I'll use the Comica Axis. That is huge. So that's kind of square. It doesn't have to be like exact square, but square in nature. So this one's kind of round. It's rounded, but it's still kind of squarish. So go ahead and make that whatever color you want. I'm just gonna make black so you can see better. And then go ahead and grab your ellipse tool, excuse me. Make black your foreground. And go ahead and draw like a real skinny looking ellipse like that below it. Now what you're gonna want to do actually is hold Command or Control on Windows, Command on Mac, and click. Now you're going to get the marquee going, the snakes I like to call it. And what you'll actually do is you can delete that layer. Now you have your snakes, go up to Select, Modify, and Feather. Now the feathering, it depended on how big your word or image or whatever it is. If it's a large, almost as big as the whole document itself, you're probably going to want to push about 6. If you push too high, it's going to actually give you an error that no pixels were selected. So we'll try 6, which that looks pretty good. You'll notice it shrinks down. And if you hold Command or Control and then hit backspace, wrong button, you can actually fill the layer. So first you got to make a new layer. See how I'm on the text layer? Make sure you, after you delete that layer, you make a new layer. Command Alt backspace. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up. Alt backspace will make the feathered. So now you can see how it's feathered out of where the marquee actually is. So we filled the marquee, but it feathered it out. Now that looks really good just by itself. To add it a little bit more, just take the opacity down a little bit. So it's a real fine shadow, because you do want it to be dark in the center and kind of fade to the outside, just like a real shadow is. So it's real dark here by the E and the D. And really, if you are making this, you should probably make multiple, because it has a space in the word. So I'll show you. If you just shrink them down, you can actually duplicate it. Even if you do this and realize, like I just did, that oh man, I have 2 words, you can actually just Control J or Command J on the Mac, duplicate it, and then go back and Control T, transform it, or just go up to Edit Transform. And by holding Shift and dragging the corner, you can resize them and keep the pixels how they're supposed to look. And there you go. And that looks really good just by itself. Then you can always go into your text and add. I wouldn't recommend a drop shadow. What I'd recommend doing is rasterizing this layer, so rasterizing the type, so it's a solid image now. Duplicating it, taking that bottom layer, and actually going into the effects and changing the color overlay to something maybe light gray if you're using black, or just something that's to be able to show that it's there. It's not going to look like another edge. So once you grab it, you can actually scoot it down and away, so it looks almost 3D, like it's actually sitting there hovering, and that it is casting that shadow down onto the page. I hope you can see it. Maybe watch this video full screen, but there is the edges. Maybe I'll just zoom in. There is the definite edge of where the gray is, and you can see the shadow underneath. I mean, it takes just looking at it and eyeballing it and seeing if it looks about right. Even turn down the opacity just a little bit more on each of them, making sure they match. That looks pretty good. So that's my tutorial on making the shadows and making the font look like it's actually hanging there. That's a really easy way without having to use a 3D program like Cinema 4D, or I think it's Maya. Any of those 3D programs that you can make the 3D text in. This is kind of an easier way. I know in CS5 there is a 3D way to do it. It might be in CS4. I can't honestly remember, but I'm used to doing it this way, so I'm going to stick to this way. So this is my tutorial on the drop shadows and making the font look a little bit 3D like. Thanks for watching, guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.